Late one July evening, 12-year-old Diego, an adventurous Florida kid with a head of wild, curly hair, decided to explore the piney woods behind his family's trailer park in Iona. Fireflies flickered along trails, and the warm air smelled of magnolia and damp earth. He'd gone after the sun slipped below the horizon, flashlight in hand and a mischievous grin on his face, just a little farther than last time, he'd told himself. At first, the woods were familiar. Tall pines swayed gently, their trunks polished smooth by years of wind. Diego's flashlight beam danced across roots and rocks. He followed the narrow dirt path deeper, the chirping of frogs and crickets growing louder. But soon, he noticed something off. The path behind him looked wrong, twisted, like a different trail entirely. He spun around. The way home was gone. Heart thumping, he called for Mom. Only his voice echoed back, swallowed by the trees. His flashlight flickered. Diego clicked it again, then again, each time the beam sputtered, until at last it died. Blackness swallowed him. He stood still, listening. The frogs ceased. The crickets paused. A heavy silence blanketed everything. Then, something. A low scratch, thrumming against a nearby pine. Diego's lungs seized. He swallowed back a scream, ducked behind a tree stump, and held his breath. The scratching paused, then moved, around the tree. Snap. The sound of pine needles crunching. He squeezed his eyes shut. Who's there? His voice shook. Nothing answered. He edged backward, hand sliding down tree bark until he felt the cool, scaly weave of bark. Diego's fingers brushed something at his feet. He crouched, a rusted red toy car, half buried in pine needles. His own. I lost this weeks ago, he whispered to himself, knuckles whitening on the flashlight he still gripped. A sense of dread twisted in his gut. One of his own things, found here. Another snap, this time close. He whipped around. No animal's eyes reflected back, just a swirl of darkness. He pushed himself to run, legs pumping through underbrush, but the shadows shifted. He stumbled into a small clearing. Moonlight trickled through the branches, only enough to see wet footprints circling him. Small, muddy footprints. They looked human, child-sized, and they led into the trees. Diego's flashlight flickered back on. A whisper, so faint, Diego, it echoed through the pines. He bit his lip. His name. Only one person would call him that like that. Something not quite human, pulling him deeper. He took a shaky breath. Help, he shouted. Nada. Then he heard footsteps behind him, running, but displaced, as if mirrored by someone else. He turned, and saw him, a dark shape, crouched low, something like a boy. He had Diego's bright eyes, but an echo, cruel and vacant. Behind him, ropes of shadows pooled on the ground. Diego screamed and lunged away. He dashed through low branches and thick ferns, each step jolting like a punch. He heard soft laughter behind him, breath close on his neck, but visible, nothing. Just his own ragged breath and pounding heart. Finally, the woods opened to a dirt road. Headlights washed over him. His aunt's car coasted to a stop. He stumbled forward, slumping in exhaustion as she leapt out. Diego, Diego, thank God. He didn't reply. Didn't need to. He was safe. For now. But from deep within the trees, a soft voice carried on the wind. Diego. He never went back after that. And in quiet moments, before sleep, he still hears it, his name, looping in the darkness of the Florida night, reminding him that he's not alone, and he might never have left those woods at all.